all these things were coming at me at once. So congratulations, you raised the capital.
Yeah.
Good for you.
That's one skill.
Now deliver.
Totally different beast.
The skill set that I would very much say is learning how to be patient. And the ability to learn is the most valuable skill in life.
Welcome to Catch the Moment podcast. I am your host, David Tyree.
It is caught by Tyree. That's a great catch by David Tyree. Oh my God. This ball's thrown and Tyree just goes up for it like a basketball player.
Welcome to Catch the Moment podcast. It's your boy, David Tyree. This is where you come every single week, get you through the moments, the pain points, the journey, get you to your next moment. Here with my boy, Richie Zav. Develop with the best, make money, solve problems. What's good, brother?
I'm good, man. Thank you very much for having me on. Finally.
I stole a little bit of your thunder, make money, solve problems, man. But, you know, we always start every episode. We be kicking it, but it's long overdue. Where were you the first time you ever saw the helmet catch? Any memories? Who was you with? Where was you at? What you got?
All right, so I actually wasn't a big football fan at the time of the helmet catch. The helmet catch was in the year of...
Are you young as hell? You probably had a little body.
Helmet catch, correct me if I'm wrong, was
2008.
2008, okay. So in 2008, I was in the 8th grade. So it was definitely... I knew about the helmet catch.
Yeah.
But I wasn't in sports. We grew up in my house. My father worked basically every Sunday, Saturday, and always at night as a wedding photographer. And my mom, whenever we were home on the weekends, it would be like, go home, go study your homework. And then like whenever we would get playtime outside, it was like very controlled. Like go outside. Yeah. And like, okay, you went outside. Now you got to read a book.
What borough y'all grew up in?
Queens.
Okay, bet.
So we didn't have my mom was not a believer of having the TV on at home. Mm-hmm. We had a TV. Yeah. My grandma lived with us, so we had Russian cable actually.
Nice.
So I watched a lot of Russian cartoons. They tried to save on Dish Network or whatever it was, like $100.
I'm gonna have to come back to you. I need to know what Russian. I need to see some Russian cartoons. This just sounds like something worth investigating.
No pagazi.
So you had to catch it on YouTube years later?
No. Then I became a big sports fan, and I actually love sports. Yeah. And this is just a open thought. Maybe one day we'll own a sports franchise if I get that far in my life.
Oh, no doubt. Let me get 3%.
Absolutely.
I bet.
Remember, it's on video.
I'll help you build it. I'll do some work.
So, yeah, right now, of course, we need the right people, the right brand, 100%. And so what really got me into sports was I worked for somebody under the name of Greg Sofiev, and he hired me under the GSD/LLD brand. What that means is Greg Sofiev Diamonds. Also, he was running his father-in-law's conglomerate, Lev Levayev Diamonds, who was the largest diamond miner in the world at that time, billionaire on Forbes, tremendous philanthropist. He eliminated the De Beers monopoly. With that being said, I had access to all sorts of diamonds, and he just liked me. He took me under his wing to mentor me. Yeah. I was 17 years old when I started working with him. Nice. And he introduced me to a few of his contacts that he had made years ago that had some sports ties. And so slowly but surely, I got close with a lot of Knicks players, a lot of Nets players, Phillies 76ers. And then before you know it, I was in it with the whole NBA, then a couple of soccer players, a couple of NFL guys. And slowly, like Prince Amukamara, we met. Rookie of the year.
Prince, okay.
Yeah. So and I can call Prince now, right?
Yeah.
And that was when I got exposed to football.
Okay, I got you.
And then I started to appreciate like some of the most monumental times of sports, like the Jordan era, like the helmet catch. Yeah. You might not like this, but Brady, you know.
I love him. I mean, like, he was good to me.
You beat him, so you don't care. You got one on him.
That tell. I want to know.
Yeah, listen, but it's not just in those sports. You know, boxing and UFC. Like I wasn't young enough to watch Tyson fight, but I watched all of Muhammad Ali's and Tyson's recaps.
Man, that's dope. So you get back in the archives and get some of these historic moments.
Even poker, like Phil Ivey. guys like that.
I don't even know who that is. You got
so that guy's like the best poker player in the world. Right?
Okay, poker. Got
so
you.
I like sports. I like to think. I like to see the
Like the
documentaries.
strategy. Okay.
What's going on? What was he thinking? And like, just not just basketball, but NFL and soccer and everything. A little bit of golf.
I like it.
A little bit of golf.
I like it. So you like you just tied into a whole lot of stuff right there. So obviously, background as a young Russian Jewish young man, New York City, Diamond District. I heard what was the Diamond Monopoly? Which is with the beers.
The beers. It was eliminated by Lev
Anytime
Leviyev.
somebody rightfully uses the word conglomerate, we gotta like stop. We gotta.
Yeah.
Because that's actually the appropriate word.
You know that there was a stat that 33% of the world's diamonds mined at that time was coming from the Leviyev mines. And it's not just in Angola. It was also in Moscow, and they had in South America. There was mines all over.
Wow, got you. And these are, like, trust me, these are things that people like myself, and I would even say the average person with zero connection doesn't even understand. Is probably starting to get a little bit of lens. Blood Diamonds was like the big movie, and
yeah, for me too.
Yeah, but it's like, oh snap, it's a dirty game going on. But
yeah. Of course.
Talk to me from a standpoint of culturally. Like, I think you're one of the most, like you're a younger man, but you're completely self-aware, is also socially understanding. But you're a New York City Russian Jew, but you're in the intersection of so many different things.
Yeah.
What was life growing up? Because you talked about some of the liberties that you didn't have, but also some of the exposure that you had. You had exposure to some big boy stuff.
Yes.
As a young teen. So what was that like? Were there frustrations, or was it, did you feel secure and just being who you were as a young kid growing up?
We grew up, my dad had a couple of apartments with my mom in the Regal Park area of Queens.
Yeah.
A little bit of background is my father came here at the age of 21 with his mother, my grandma, who was a widow already at that time. Mm-hmm. So he lost his dad at 13. He was already married to my mom, and they already
21.
they already had my brother.
Grown man stuff.
So they left Russia. They ran out because there was a lot of anti-Semitism. So when the gates were opened and the immigration was allowed,
sure,
they ran away. But on the way out, Russia was like, 1 second, like everybody packed up everything. They sold everything, right? Yeah. On the way out, they're like, okay, this is all your money. This is all your jewelry. It belongs to Russia.
Wow.
So if you leave, you're leaving alone without any of these materials, and you have to make that decision. My dad was like, hell yeah, I'm out. They don't let us practice religion. It was communism. They don't let you make more money than anybody. It was a system, and if you had more money, you go to jail. It was a system. So
yeah.
And when my parents came here at that time,
sure,
my mom was 18. Her parents went to Israel. So she said bye. Not forever, but at that time we didn't know. And they already had my brother who was 1 month old.
Wow.
So the mentality was when they got here, like just, no language, no money. Like
sure,
he got a job at a local bakery. He did some signs. He was a photographer by trade, so he did photography.
Nice.
And he sent my mom to school. He said, look, go learn English, whatever you can become, and I'm going to try to support. And they lived very modestly. And I remember, like, I don't want to say that, like, we're poor, but they were immigrants, they had nothing, and they
worked their way up.
They worked their way up. I didn't grow up in a high net worth home.
Yeah.
The irony, or what everybody thinks, like Russian Jews, real estate family, diamond family, privileged and Jewish, and they had money.
Sure.
No, I wasn't. I'm not poor. That's what I wanted to say. But
thank God.
But we didn't.
Thank God. We glorify that.
But I got all hand-me-downs, and we didn't have bicycles and scooters. And my grandma would see toys in the garbage, and she would clean them up and say, "It's a perfectly fine toy. Don't make a big deal about this, and enjoy it."
It's fantastic.
And she would buy me a slice of pizza. Like she would say, "Don't tell mom and dad." At that time, pizza was like 50 or 75 cents.
Those are the good old days.
Yeah.
Bro, I can remember a dollar slice. I can't remember those 75-cent slices in Jersey. But it's hearing you say that is, it's sobering. I tell people, I said, America is still an immigrant nation. America is fashioned for the person who's grateful and hardworking, who will create or see opportunities in light of the liberties that exist. It doesn't mean it's not a whole lot of crap going on. But
Yeah.
I tell people at the end of the day, if you can't see yourself as a person that's willing to do whatever it takes to find success, then you won't. If you're looking for a reason to not,
You won't find it.
You'll find it, right?
Yeah.
Like, so you got a lot of these, but obviously you grow up, and you could probably see all these different elements working in, and obviously there is community. I've always admired, as a minority, like I said, I think Jewish community, minority community, African Americans, minority community, there's oppression, there's similarities, parallels are called.
100%.
Right? So, but what unites people is what brings people together, right? And I think those are some of the schisms, parallels, but schisms even in African American. How, like, when you started to grow up and receive some of those opportunities, and what was in your mental DNA that says, man, I want to be somebody, I want to go do something, and who were some of the people that helped stimulate the pursuit?
So I had a lot of great people in my life.
That's good.
I can't say that I am successful. I don't have that. It's not me. First of all, everything glory to God. Everything.
Amen.
Everything. Everything.
Beautiful.
For sure. Secondly, God sent me the right players in my life.
It's good.
But growing up, I really wanted to just help my family. Like, my dad would leave the house at 7 a.m. to go to the bride's house to take pictures, and he would come home after the wedding at 2 a.m. And then in some instances, he would wake up at 6 a.m. for a circumcision of the baby or a bar mitzvah, and that they have to do early morning services.
Yeah.
And by the time I was 14 or 13, he's like, yo, get up. You're going to work with me, bro.
That's good stuff.
And you're sleeping tight. And it's like, it's winter. And he's like, and it's 4 o'clock in the morning. And he's waking you up like, yo, we got to go set up the equipment.
Yeah.
We got to go set up the camera, the background. And because you can't show up at 6. You got to be ready.
You got to be ready.
They're going to show up at 6. And you have to be ready to take all the pictures.
Yeah.
And then at the end, my dad was like, all right. So he would pay me like $80 for the whole day. From like 9 to 2 a.m. in cash.
$80.
And then he would be like, oh, what's the big deal? You're helping your father out.
Boy, this
And he
is
was
so
right.
good.
And he was right, by the way. And he basically made me into a man. He understood that there is such a thing. Don't worry. If you just have to worry about yourself, all you're going to think about is about yourself. So if I feed myself, I'm good. No, he's like, no. That's not how it works in this family. You're going to help me. After you help me, you're going to help mom. You're going to make sure you have an older brother. He's got to take care of you. You got to take care of him. You have a little sister. You have a grandma. And when all that's done, then you can take care of yourself.
Man, bro, you know how many people, like the majority of Americans don't get any of that. I got 7 kids, so I think even right now, and I'm gonna just deviate. Me and my wife been intentional as hell raising kids. My oldest son 22, youngest is 10, baby girl. We are really just, I would say, for the last 3-4 years, leaning into that reality, because so much of us, I think, we like, you want to do things for your kids. But the reality is they actually need to do things for the family so that they have a paradigm that's beyond themselves, So that obviously, man, that launches you out. How did you, all right, so boom, you get into the, like I said, you say you had some relationships into diamond. How does real estate come into the picture? Because, bro, how old are you now?
29.
20, you ain't even cracked 30 yet, dog.
Let's go. Crack 30, bro.
Let's go, dog.
Running
That get me hyped. It gets me hyped because I tell people, don't waste your 20s, man. You out here getting it. Don't waste your 20s.
Yeah.
So how did you, what was the bridge, into real estate and to the point where you're now under 30? And congratulations. I know you guys just opened a spot in Brooklyn.
Yeah, Rockaway.
That is Rockaway. And I live in Rockaway. Wish I had in on that, but, next time. But what was the transition into, I see opportunity to, man, I'm going to do my own thing as a developer in New York City.
So it didn't happen right away. It didn't happen like I just woke up one morning and said, I'm going to be my own dude. When I was on 47th Street, I did a lot of hustling between the avenues of 6th and 5th. I met a lot of people. I learned how to operate a business, create contacts, create sales, get organized, and scale and create a brand. And that was like training. Then I went into real estate brokering.
Nice.
Actually, I got into a company called Nest Seekers, and it happened to be across the street of the Diamond District on 5th Avenue.
Wow.
So I was still making some diamond sales, still selling some watches, still servicing some jewelry, hustling, making money.
Sure.
And then learning the business of rentals and sales and growing a team and marketing and doing all the stuff that a broker does.
Yeah.
I did that for 3.5 years, and I did it very well.
Good.
I had a great team and great people. I hired assistants and marketers, and I had a whole system flowing. But I realized, I'm like, bro, I would have to sell all of New York to be the type of person I want to be. So it's going to be a tough challenge.
Sure.
And so as I was transitioning from Nest Seekers to Douglas Elliman, because I switched firms, Douglas Elliman has this 2-week period where they do a background check on you.
Nice.
Right? And they want to check.
And know who the hell you are.
They want to know who you are, right? So I was already in the firm. I passed the interview and everything was going well. But I was going crazy because I was home for 2 weeks doing nothing. So I went to a gym on like a Wednesday at like 2 o'clock, bro. And I was like, I can't do this, bro. Like, something's wrong here. And the gym was filled with females, bro. It was like all moms coming out of like yoga, working out. I was like,
if you gotta be careful, depending on what stage you're in. That gym is a den of iniquity. You get lost up in there.
Yeah. And so what happened was, I called a couple of friends and I said, you know what? I always was thinking about doing some fix and flips. And I know where the auction houses are located in each county. And let's raise some capital. Let's buy these fix and flips in cash. Let's rehab them. And we'll flip the profit.
Sure.
Just was an idea that I was thinking about.
Sure.
And the guy that I was on the phone with, was like, yeah, I'll commit, bro. I'll commit. How much do you want? I said, how much can you put? He said, I'll put in 150. 150, no problem. Calls me back in 10 minutes. He goes, yo, actually, I was just with my boy, and I told him that we're going to be doing the stuff, and he wants in on it as well. I'm like, okay, how much does he want to put? He said, 150. Okay.
Getting somewhere.
I'm like, all right. By the end of the night, he calls me back. I was like, another guy wants to get in.
Beautiful.
150. I said, all right, I don't know the amounts. So, by the way, and I don't know anything about anything. So I had to call my brother, like, what's the steps? He's like, bro, you got to open up an LLC. I said, what's an LLC? He's like, you have to have an accountant. I'm like, I don't have an accountant. He's like, you need an operating agreement. I'm like, what's an operating agreement? I'm asking all these questions. I don't know what's what. And I set up the names. I set up the entity with the right set of people. And I didn't fill in the amounts because I don't know what they're going to actually come with. And we go to Chase Bank. I present them the LLC docs, the corporate docs. I show them the operating agreement. And now it's time to fund the account. And they all wrote me $1 million check. Boom. And I just, like, I don't have a rich mom and dad. And I don't have money that I come from. But I put myself, God put me in a scenario where I was able to creatively raise capital about a business I have no clue about. So I did one step out of whatever 100 million steps that I needed to go. And I actually went on to that auction, ended up buying stuff, ended up learning how to flip without even doing anything. Like I wouldn't even walk out of the auction house, and I was like turning the contracts around for $30,000. And some of these properties are closed. And I actually had to, like, I got myself into some shit. I was like, yo, I bought the property. Congratulations, you bought it. Congratulations. But now you got to do what you said. The imagination, the vision. Gut renovation. And then the village or the DOB, you don't have permits. And then electrical. And then you have water meters. And you have the roof is cracked. And all this and I'm like, bro, all these things were coming at me at once. So congratulations, you raised the capital. Good for you.
That's one skill.
Now deliver.
Totally different beast. All right, so how old are you at this point? Was there any point where you, I mean, like, you know, I know it's like I said, I don't want to say deflated, but when you over here dealing with all these new problems, right? So that makes a whole lot of sense.
I was 23 years old.
23 years old.
23 years old. In 2018, I already had 3 or 4 properties I bought in cash. I was working out of my brother's office and a plastic table sitting adjacent to him on his table.
Crazy.
With a mini MacBook Air with no Microsoft Excel because Mac has something like
pages, numbers
or some shit like that. By the way, I don't even know how to use Microsoft Excel, so it doesn't even matter. And
listen, like 80% of the world don't know how to use Microsoft Excel.
And what a skill!
Find the other 20% who does.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a helpful tool once you learn how to
it's huge.
Vitalize that. And basically, I rolled up my sleeves.
Nice.
I hired some contractors. I actually called my dad. I go, Dad, you know, like, I need a contractor. Who could we talk to? He got me a guy that spoke in an ancient language in Tajikistan, from where my parents are from. which I don't know how to speak. So now I have a contractor that I can't even communicate with him. But he's the contractor I have.
I can't with you, bro. How y'all talking to you?
It was a lot of
translation.
It was a lot of eyes and maybe Google Translate. And we were going to Home Depot and arguing about. He was whatever in his language telling me, and I was like, okay, Richie, like, come on, click, man. What the hell is he saying?
But he's trustworthy and he's doing a good job.
I don't know if he was trustworthy or doing a good job.
Dang, this is some good stuff.
This is a learning experience, bro. I was the sheep, bro.
Yeah, so he was a test dummy. I call it crash dummy.
Yeah, crash dummy.
Listen, man, this is the real. So when you look at, obviously, you're at a totally different phase and stage in your business where you've learned so much. And if anybody sees you on your Instagram, you're giving people like, man, value on top of value.
Yeah.
What would you say, like, because real estate, there's so many different ways to be a part of real estate.
Yes.
And you eventually, like I said, you have different arms and tentacles and different, not just properties, different types of properties. And I've seen some of the people that you work with work throughout. What would you say is like the biggest, trap door? I mean, like, what is, if there was something that you need to avoid in approaching the development space, what's like one of those things that you really need to understand this before you do this?
So there's two answers to that. There's always something that you always should understand and get a good analysis of before getting into it. But I will add something.
Sure.
Had I known what was ahead of me, I wouldn't have got into this business. So that is kind of going to steer people out. Yeah. But for the people in, and they really want to know just for the clarity and not to make mistakes.
Yeah.
You really need to be prepared on construction knowledge, engineering knowledge.
It's good.
And you need to be organized and persistent. So those combination of those skills is what's gonna lead you to the succession, whether it's acquisition, right? Even just underwriting a property, just thinking in your head, okay, I buy this property for $100,000. Okay, good. What is making you think that this property is worth $100,000? Is it backed by facts? Is there comparables? Or is it your dad saying, I know this property is good, you won't make a mistake? Or is it FOMO, everybody bought in the neighborhood, and you're like, yo, they're buying. If he's putting his money, my money's good. Or is it really, is a factual, concise, comparable behind what you're thinking? And that process needs to be replicated almost in every single sequence variable. In every variable.
I hope they caught that. That process needs to be duplicated at every...
Yes, in every instance.
I love it.
By facts, no emotions. Don't make decisions on emotions. You're making decisions on tangible, black and white.
Concrete, realistic experiences. Yeah. Not what you felt.
Yes.
Oh man, we already know we're in the age of emotions and feelings and things of that nature. We ain't gonna go on too much of a tangent. But for you, now you're a young man, tons of experience, tons of credibility. You're kind of walking into something, into some real big boy experiences and opportunities. What's like when you think about yourself now? You just had a child.
Yeah, number two.
So now you're dealing with marriage. So talk to me about the difference of being who you are.
Yeah.
With the same grit and determination to be the best and to be great at something, but also now having something that is probably definitely more precious.
Yes.
And you still want to be great.
They go hand in hand. And I'm always going to go back to my family.
Sure.
Father, mother, and my in-laws. Because I've learned a lot from them. Different things in my life I've learned from different people.
Yeah.
And majority from my parents. I have an older brother. I have a brother-in-law, and I have sister-in-laws as well. And we're very close.
That's good.
I'm not afraid of constructive criticism. I'm not afraid of it. And I
hope y'all don't miss that. Don't be afraid of constructive criticism.
Especially from parents.
It's good.
Or in-laws that have experience on you, that can help guide you if you're willing to listen.
Ooh, boy.
So it's true. My wife helped me a lot in my life.
Big shout. What's her name again?
My wife's name is Natalie.
Natalie, we love you, Natalie.
Yes, we love you. It is a team effort.
It's good.
And the skill set that I would very much say is learning how to be patient And the ability to learn is the most valuable skill in life. For example,
let's go.
When you're a father for the first time and the baby's crying, there is a way to calm this baby down. You just don't know it yet.
Come on, bro.
So the ability to learn the fastest route on how to get this baby to calm down will be the difference of a successful night of sleep.
Come on, bro.
Or not a successful night of sleep.
Come on, bro. That was a bar right there. I hope people get this. You know, I was in college. I'm going to give you a 45-second story. We had an apartment on campus, and Liala had some classes or something like that at night. And it was one of those moments, so you just reminded me. And my son was going at it. You know, me in college, probably last semester before we graduated, and he was going at it. But I was building this crib. I was building this crib at the same time. Built it outside the room, but I couldn't fit it back inside the door.
Yeah, you got to take it apart.
Man, you want to talk about a rough day at work?
Yeah.
She comes home. We're not married yet. We out here shack attacking. And and she comes home and she sees the crib because it got paint from like
the doors, smudging it because you're forcing it in. You were trying it the angle.
That baby and that thing wore me out, dog. You said, there's a way to actually do this.
Yeah.
But it's the patience. And that patience cost me the beauty of the crib. As well as probably some good loving that night.
But some people don't have the ability to adapt to variable change. And in my business, that can cost you millions of dollars.
Ooh, the cost. Ooh, man, now you're talking about opportunity cost, man. This is good stuff right here. So how the hell you do it? So I kind of got the answer, but I'm like, bro, you out here. I'm like, I ain't figuring nothing out until I was like 35.
Yeah. Well, my parents in our community, in the Bukharian community, my parents are Bukharian.
Say that again.
Bukharian.
All right, what is that?
Okay, so
Educate.
So in Russia,
yeah.
Right now it's apart from there's a country known as Uzbekistan.
I've heard of Uzbekistan.
And Uzbekistan has many cities.
Nice.
Such as Bukhara, Tashkent, Samarkand, Navai, Dushanbe, Margilan,
nice.
Fergana, and there's many cities where my parents came from.
Yeah.
So our culture is extremely similar to the Muslim culture. Because the people of Uzbekistan are Muslims.
Got you.
And the people that you're seeing there are not exactly, but the guys that are becoming very popular and famous in the UFC.
Oh, yeah.
They're all Russian.
Gustav?
From Dagestan. It's not far from
got you.
Where my parents came from.
I got you.
But that culture.
Yeah. They have similar cultural elements.
Whether it's the Muslim culture or the Jewish culture, they're very much alike in how they raise their kids.
Got you.
And the traditional values, which my parents are always like, yo, you got to get married young. You got to find the right girl.
Come on,
you do it life one time. Education is key. You got to be a good father. You got to be a good example. You have to be respectful.
Yeah.
And in the Muslim culture, they teach them the Quran. And in the Jewish culture, we learn the Torah. And Christians learn the Bible.
We got both.
But if you do those things, if you do learn, nowhere does it say be disrespectful.
Come on, bro.
Or it doesn't
honor your father,
honor your parents,
long life,
and the values of the principles of life are all basically written in there.
That's what the Torah means.
Which our parents were very much involved in. Like we spent Shabbats on Friday and Saturday. I don't have a phone. I put it away, and my father would sit down with me. It wasn't a grand, luxurious home. It was the value was the table. The value was sitting down with him. It didn't need to be, we had Rolexes and three-piece suits tailored and Bentleys, and that's not value. The value was when we had my father sitting at the head of the household, my mother sitting beside him, talking to their children, me, my brother, and my sister, saying, guys, what did you guys learn today? Okay, no problem. Oh, I handled this situation like that. Okay, in my opinion, you could have handled that better. And how come? And then he would say, well, you had option A and option B, and you're getting upset is never the right thing, and if you just took your time. And hearing that over and over and over. And it basically, by the time we were 20 or 21 or 22 or 23, I got married at 25.
Nice.
We already understood where what value was.
Man. So and this is one of my sayings. I said value is determined by values. So, I said, if we can really understand that, and if we value the wrong things, then we'll have a lower value paradigm even as we approach life. Like, so, I tell people posterity over prosperity. Prosperity is inside of posterity. That's your legacy. That's your family name. So when I'm listening, this all makes sense now. So, Richie Zav, this all makes sense.
Yes.
This whole arriving to a place where now as you're approaching 30, you can actually be peaking into a place instead of just learning. So that's super dope and valuable. What's going on, everybody? David Tyree here, your favorite Super Bowl 42 champion, author of the greatest catch in Super Bowl history. But here's the catch for today. I want you to take a moment, think about what it's going to take for you to unlock the next step of mastery within your team, your organization, even your small business. Visit davidtyree85.com and check out some of these keynotes. Elevate integrity. Talk about self-awareness as a superpower. How to position your managers to be more self-aware and well-positioned for growth, advancement, and sustainability. Oh my goodness, Real Men Work. This is geared toward all of our men having the right attitude and disposition about work. This is for everyone looking to be the best, the peak pinnacle parent, the peak pinnacle father, the peak pinnacle leader. Make sure you check that out. And my absolute favorite, The Art of Being Coachable. This is something that all of us need. We lean in on humility, self-awareness, accountability, and how to be adaptable. Make sure you check out the website. We want to be an absolute asset to your growth and your high performance. davidtyree85.com. Tell me, as would have been, because I have some fun conversations with you behind the scenes. What were some of the things that you had to do as you transitioned into family man plus entrepreneur? So, because I tell people all the time, I know I'm one of the best in the world at what I do. And I do a few things, but I said, people got more time on me. I got 7 kids. I said, I got a lot more ground to cover.
Yeah.
So I'm built like an ocean liner. So I got to build the team to work beneath the scenes on the ocean liner.
Yeah.
So, but for you've been able to move with a good amount of speed, intelligence, wisdom, but you get this beautiful thing like a family. What were some of the things that you had to put in place when you talked about that big priority adjustment?
Scalability is a real skill, which I didn't have. I looked at it as if I contract whatever thing I want to do out to someone, that's money that I could have kept.
Sure.
And that was basically the non-business mind that I needed to adjust on. And my brother, who runs our medical division, is all about delegation. And he likes to streamline everything.
So your systems process.
Systems and processes. And he told me, Richie, there are people smarter than you in your business.
Sure.
Imagine that they do your task better than you for you. And it took a while with a lot of head hitting. We work in the same office.
Nice.
Side by side. And we pick up on a lot of ideas and we give and take each other's opinions.
Sure.
But as having an older brother and listening and saying, yo, Rich, hire somebody, get a construction manager, get a contractor, get a secretary, get an assistant. Even at home, getting the right people. Like, we're big on Shabbat, and in our culture, it's a big deal when the woman cooks. That's her pride.
Yeah.
That's what she...
Come on now, ladies, get back up in that kitchen.
Yeah, that's how... I don't want to say that's how the woman show off.
No, listen, we're not talking about what you can do. We know that they can do anything.
Yes.
But boy, let me tell you what, this Liala Tyree, she be out here.
No, on the contrary, what I'm saying is that's how they show that they're bringing their side of the tape. By the way, my wife is just graduated, has a master's in speech pathology, and had 2 children while doing that in Yeshiva University, in top 50 school. So there's no question. There's not like my wife's a housewife sitting at home collecting rent checks. No. She
Proverbs
worked
31 right there, man. She's in the gates.
Yes, she and by the way, she will be 25.
Gee.
She will be 25.
Well, you out here. I see you out here winning.
Yeah. So no, it's not me. She deserves it. Yeah, she worked hard. But in our culture, right, when we have those monumental moments in our life, we value it. And even the simplest thing, I told my wife, shopping takes time.
Sure.
Cooking takes time. Preparing the food takes time. Maybe we get a helping hand on a Saturday when we have guests come over to help wash the dishes so you can actually sit versus you know, because she has a fish and wants to take it out the right way and has to prep it. That is, small thing like that is called delegation.
Yeah.
And it all comes back to money. Yes, you need to pay for these things.
Yeah.
But remember something, in this country was built on delegation.
Man, come on, bro. Listen, bro, I was just listening to it. Well, these are lessons that, you know, like, and I said, when you don't have options, I tell people, I said, when you don't have options, obviously, that's where you get creativity and resourcefulness. I said, you know, but when you have money, i.e. or resources, because at the end of the day, it's really about resources. Money is just a resource.
Yes.
It's, you know, so it gives you the opportunity. I said, you either got time or you got money.
Yes.
You either got time or you got money, because the only thing that gets you back your time is money. And so it's a powerful dynamic, but at the end of the day, none of us are getting time back. So if you're going to have the quality of life that we all look to value, because we've already established premium values, right? Like with our family, with our marriages, that Shabbat, even that peace of mind to build a healthy ecosystem where our family thrives in every way, not just financially.
100%.
Yeah, it's powerful, but if you can't find the resources, if you don't have the community of people to kind of tap into so that you know who to find and where to get things done, then we miss those tasks. Talk to me about, you know, like this. I mean, like when I got a chance to meet you, this project was it was definitely beyond studs, but Rockaway, y'all just completed this project.
Yes. We're on the market. We're selling it. We actually hired a great brokerage, and they're doing a great job.
Doing a great job filling it up?
Yeah, filling it up, and one of 16 active projects in Brooklyn.
That's what I wanted to hear. You got, so obviously when I met you, it's like my boy got some coals on the fire right now. So what are you most excited about, man? I mean when you're doing something, you're doing it. It's kind of like, you know, like you're not one of these guys that's on the sideline talking about or hoping to get in. You're actually in the game. Yeah. Active shooter. But what are you most excited about, and how did that feel, cutting that ribbon? You know, talk about the, you know, when you go from this blood, sweat, and tears kind of approach, all the learning lessons, how does it feel to get to certain stages and knowing that there's still so many hurdles to cross, filling it up? What goes on in the mind of that ownership mind?
I feel like any athlete that is at a level where they can be considerable champions.
Nice.
So I feel very accountable.
It's good.
I feel like every day it's a season game, and if I lose or if I fumble the ball or if a defensive lineman doesn't protect me in one of the plays we had set and we practiced 100 times,
it's good.
It will hurt me. There are two types of hurt. We could drop the ball, or you can be permanently out for the season.
Woo.
So
I experienced both.
Yes. And neither of them are easy hits.
No.
Some of them are mentally strong, and some of them are physically strong.
Sure.
I feel like in my business, right? Business is a sport.
Nice.
Just like
talk about straight
football, just like basketball. And there are levels, and there are people practicing their craft even when they're the best.
Sure.
And they're creating a new best.
Nice.
And so I feel very responsible. I don't feel any type of satisfaction. Mm-hmm. I feel hunger. I feel sometimes like I'm alone in my thought process because I want to consistently push the envelope.
Nice.
And no one probably will understand me because I don't think that I have yet get to the potential where I can be. I was actually listening to on Instagram late last night. Sometimes I don't really sleep. Around 3 a.m. I was just scrolling and I saw the Rebbe Lubavitch, the rabbi with the gray beard, Chabad, who passed away, was a famous, renowned rabbi.
Okay.
And he basically implied that it's almost a sin to not unlock your full potential in this world.
Woo! Come on, talk to me.
So that was to me almost in the most superb way inspiring because I feel like I have not yet gotten to where I need to be in my life.
Yeah.
I haven't accomplished shit.
You accomplished something that's just so much more.
I don't think I have accomplished anything.
Yeah.
Aside from, God gave me whatever I have.
Amen.
So I am appreciative of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there is things in this world that I think that can be accomplished in my job.
Sure.
Which I have not come close to. So I'm very competitive. I'm competitive. I look in the mirror with myself.
Yeah.
And I have people to look up to. Like my father-in-law is one of the top developers probably in New York.
It's dope.
So I know where he's at and how hard he's worked.
Yeah.
And I know developers that are probably bigger than him.
Yeah.
So, competition's a real thing, bro.
Yeah.
It's a real disease,
My
bro.
dog he's coming for the crown. I love this dude. You know what? When you're a competitor, how can like for me, I'm like, I love this. So I totally get your mindset. I tell people complacency is disgusting. Contentment is a disposition.
Yeah.
So I really believe that, the only way to kind of, I don't like to use the word balance too often, but the only way to balance the drive versus the gratitude is to own a state of contentment by, through gratitude, right? Like, it's like where I'm not just striving every single day with a place of unsatisfaction, because reality is you've done what you've already done. It's like me winning the championship or me arriving at the NFL. I'm a part of the 1%. You arrive at the NFL, you're a part of the 1%, and you haven't done anything.
Exactly.
So,
but it's a major accomplishment.
But it's the major accomplishment. You're literally a part of the 1%.
Like you're just one player that just got on a roster.
You're just a dude, right?
As of now.
So, and then you go, okay, the average career is 3.2, right?
Can you perform?
Can you get to 3.2? Oh, once you get past that, the average is 7.
Can you become something special?
There you go.
Can you begin?
So I think when I hear you talk, I hear a lot of that. It's like, bro, I think at the end of the day, you're a veteran in your field.
No.
Listen, bro.
I'm in the beginning, bro. I'm just a high paid rookie.
You can call it what you want. I tell you this: most people don't do what you've done. Most people haven't opened the building. Most people haven't done it. It's a lot of people who do it, but most people haven't done it. And so it's something that. But if you can't say that, you probably won't be able to knock off Jordan. If I'm not honest with myself, this is me and you chopping. If I'm not honest with myself, like, no, I am the guy who have done something. Like, I have to be able to get to the point to say that I'm the best special teams player in the NFL, even though no one cares, right? So, but I have to be able to say no one cares. Suit up again in the morning.
Yes.
Whatever I've done, no one cares about. I got to go get it tomorrow.
Yes.
Right, and I think you got all that DNA in you in pursuit of where you go. And I love what you said about Rabbi, because I think that's real about God. I think like there's something that God has for each individual that we're supposed to be getting to.
Yes.
And I tell people like there's the legal side of sin, but then there's just falling short.
Yes.
That kind of sin. I think that's what
being lazy is not healthy for you.
And we don't have to define it. It's just like, man, there's something you're supposed to be doing that you're not doing.
Yes.
And that's not written in a Torah. It's just there's something
Common
you're supposed
sense.
to be. There's something you're supposed to do that you're not doing. And I think part of that is understanding who God is and to some extent aligning your life with purposes. And that's really part of what this pod is about. Give me a little bit more, like as it stands today, what the brand is. You're doing a lot more on the marketing end that's super dynamic and collective.
Yeah.
What do you kind of visualize how this is going to unfold and even the stage and where you're at in relation to marketing, the kind of people that you're educating and bringing into the ecosystem?
One thing I can tell you is brand is a dangerous thing. And if once you figure out that you know how to use your brand,
sure,
there is no limit.
It's powerful.
I have not yet figured out how far or where the direction is, because I didn't think that, I started my Instagram journey because of you.
Nah.
So
I'm a scrub.
So when we met,
yeah,
I was listening to a lot of people on Instagram and they were like sitting in a podcast, similar situation, and they're like,
Yep.
I own 5,000 units in Delaware, in Wisconsin, in Minnesota, and you're just like I've never seen you in front of these places, and I don't know, you still live at home with your mom. Like, it just doesn't make sense, bro.
Make it make sense,
Yeah.
please.
And then on the way to your podcast, I said, you know what, Richie? I think, and it was just I said, today you're gonna make a social media presence. That's it, today. And then I met you, and I put up a couple of pictures.
Yep.
And then I started to blog, and in the maybe 1.5 years short time,
Bro.
it blew. 10 million people are in and out of my account every 6 months.
Fire.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
Fire.
And I'm recognized now when I go to get a coffee, a bagel. people stop me.
Bro.
And I haven't done anything. I haven't done anything.
I love this
I
guy.
haven't done anything, bro.
I love this dude.
But I haven't done anything. I promise
Freaking
you.
liar. I love him.
No. I haven't done anything.
He's not a real liar. He's a fake liar.
Wait, when I do something, I'm gonna say.
You gonna let the world know?
I'm gonna be like, yo, that was me, bro. I didn't get there yet. But yeah, so that I do want to create a hub where I can invite athletes, invite high net worth individuals.
Sure.
And an avenue.
Why high net worth? We see that once people kind of get good, they move into the high, and I get it. I think I get it. But when you say it today, I want to hear you say, why are you identifying the high net worth clientele into your ecosystem? What do you feel like you're gonna bring to it?
Well, I want to make a move.
Uh-huh.
And in order to get a big percentage move,
Yeah.
you need to have big percentage money.
Boom.
Yeah, you could invest in certain instances 500,000 and turn it into 50 million. In life, there has been those investments.
Sure.
For sure. They're not probable and they're not consistent. But when you deploy $75 million of capital, you can expect a minimum 20% return. And instead of making you made 15 million on 75 million, that's a move. That's a move.
It's a move.
And that's what, when I say high net worth, you want to play in the big league, you got to play with the big players.
Boom.
You want to be on the championship team, you got to have a championship roster.
Yeah. And I ask that because so many people will feel left out in relation to, and maybe they will be left out, but in relation to opportunities and access, right? And that's the reason why I like, because it's, that's the common theme that we'll all hear. And for me as a young man, not knowing anything about the world, not knowing anything about the business, I felt left out, even though I was an athlete.
Yeah.
I felt left out because I'm like, no, I'm not high net worth.
I'll tell you where the problem is. You just didn't have the right people approach you.
And I learned that. I literally learned it.
And another thing is not everybody can be left out. It's just a level of degree that people are willing to participate in. For example, my first deal was not millions of dollars.
Sure.
We bought a single family home.
Nice.
A single family home, which you could take a mortgage out on 30%.
Yeah.
Just the NFL, the NBA, all the leagues, MLB, the boxers, the golfers,
Yeah.
the professional NASCAR racers are not exposed to the individual actually making money.
Sure.
They're exposed to their financial manager,
That's it.
their accountant, their business manager.
I'll tell you.
And usually those people are introduced to them by the coach or the or some sort of
there's
brother.
a liaison, agents.
Yeah, brothership program that you have, and like, David, you're a rookie, so I'm gonna take you under my wing. By the way, I use this guy as my agent. This guy does my hair. This guy does my nails.
Yep.
And then you start asking him questions like, "Yo, where do you get your suits from?" And you're going off of his contacts now.
There you go. And it, like I said, as simple as that could be, if you get connected to the wrong kind of people, then you have a poor network. You have a poor ecosystem.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the athletes in my era, we weren't as educated. This is a new era athlete. This is the age of athlete where
You would be surprised how many athletes DM me.
Oh man, listen,
Directly
bro,
now.
I already know. Well, I mean, number one, and like I said, I don't have to do anything. Here's my thing: is I really believe when you live authentically, great things happen.
For sure.
I mean, like authentically, incredible. You have to be authentic and you have to be credible. And I think at the end of the day, when you're not credible, you get the Diddy situation.
Yes.
The light's gonna come on eventually.
Eventually,
for everybody.
the spotlight. Yes.
So I mean,
Yes.
like at
be
some
careful.
point, The jig is up. So at some point, you actually got to know what you're talking about, because if you're a charlatan, you might persuade some people, and eventually you're going to find out you're a charlatan and you lose everything.
Yeah.
Right now, some people are multiple con artists. They just keep at it, and it's disgusting.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when I think about the kind of people who would reach out, it's listen, man. You watch somebody, you listen to them, you recognize that maybe they're credible, you're interested. Where athletes lose is they typically don't know all the questions to ask, and if they don't have someone with great integrity, then
they're trusting.
They're like, number one, everybody wants to be good at what they're not.
Yes.
Right? Everybody wants what they don't have, right? So the athlete wants to be a rapper, he wants to be a real estate investor, he wants to be the finance guy, whatever.
But he's an athlete.
But he's an athlete right now.
Yes,
right?
He's practicing that.
And at the end of the day, if he doesn't perfect that and gain enough knowledge in all these other areas,
he'll lose out.
Then he'll lose out on the unique opportunity he had as being an athlete.
That was part of
people like you.
Yeah, that was part of the branding. How else is a guy like me supposed to get into the real estate development business? No family money. I didn't have a business where I was pumping out millions of dollars year over year that I was saving.
Sure.
One day I just said I want to be a developer, and I syndicated a deal.
Yeah.
And I did it again and again and again. I said there's got to be a faster route to get to the top.
I love it.
You need to work and partner. You need to have good camaraderie.
You just said it right there.
And bring people in. By the way, when you bring them in, you're giving them an opportunity.
It's good.
At the same time, you're giving yourself an opportunity. So when you do that trade-off, he wins, I win.
Now we winning.
Yes, now we winning. And that team, by the way, you do right by one guy, another guy will come by.
Come on.
Another guy will
Get
come
him,
by.
Zab.
His cousin, his sister, his brother.
Get him, Zab.
Because now you have, like what you said, credibility. You have ethical, you're moral, you're trustworthy, your word has a value.
Bro, we vibing all day. It's no surprise why you've been able to do what you've done, why you've been able to stand on, when I say family business, I mean, it's not a secret learning and hearing how you were raised as a young man to success that you're having in the marketplace, because I don't believe it's separate. I believe that actually if you have a healthy experience, social emotional experience, and it's so powerful to hear you talk about your fathers, man, like that's actually where the rubber really meets the road, because at the end of the day, the foundation of every family is on the strength of a healthy man.
Yeah.
And if he can kind of matriculate that and move that along, then he values his wife, he values his children, but he's motivated by that very thing. Man, how can I improve my generation? How can I make a name and make my father proud? And next thing you know, you got Richie Zav.
Working hard,
taking over New York City.
No, I'm not taking over. I'm just trying to
finding your lane.
Yeah, I step on, like if you take a look at my attire, you'll see that I have like mud and dirt. I'm on.
You make the videos with the hard hat. That's my favorite. That's my favorite part. The hard hat.
We're on the field, man. And these guys have PhDs and they're engineers, and I have concrete guys, and I have steel guys and windows. But that's on the field. Then off the field, I have to design all this and have meetings with my architect and where we're going to put columns, where we're going to put doors. Right. And then I have to get on another call with the banker and the mortgage broker and discuss the metrics of the loan and how much I can get and how much I can give. And then I have to get on another call with a tax consultant to discuss how this is going to help me and save taxes, and where am I going to make the units per square foot per month, and what do I give the city, and in return what does the city give me on a tax benefit? Yeah. And at the same time I have to speak to the broker and talk about the branding and the marketing, how we're going to go live. And there's a lot of variables, man.
Bro, all right, so do you ever, when I say like, so like the world is talking about all the mental health stuff, and I know you have, I think your faith, your family, and a true sense of purpose give you a lot of well-being. But from a stress level and all these moving targets.
Yeah, it's stressful, bro.
Yeah. What's the fallback space for you where you get back to your zen mode, your peace mind mode?
2 parts to that.
Your shalom.
People see me on Instagram make a 90-second reel. And that's the Cinemax version of me. And they don't see, till that point, what got me there and what I'm feeling. And if something's going wrong, whether it's personally or in the business field, they don't get that from me there. And so it is very stressful when shit is not going your way and interest rates are at 11% and I'm spending $1 million a month in interest. And I stacked all the cards and people bet on me to win.
Yeah.
But the market's taking a turn. I'm not the reason why interest rates are going up. This is clearly nothing to do with me. There's a war happening, or there's inflation, or there's COVID. You could not have predicted the last 4 years.
All the uncontrollables, yeah.
Right. But you always have to be successful. No matter what, there's no excuses.
It's good.
My Zen is a couple of things. First of all, thank God I have Shabbat. I put my phone away. You can't contact me if you wanted to for 25 hours. You call me any other time in the week, and everybody knows I pick up on the first one. For 25 hours, I go MIA, and I spend that time in the synagogue, and I spend it with my family.
Beautiful.
I also spend it in the summers at the park. I can probably play handball, the sport.
Say word.
I could probably play the game professionally if I wanted to.
You don't even hear handball like that no more, dog.
It is a sport.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it is like a real sport. And I can, if I wanted to play it like professionally, I play at that level.
That's tight.
I'm in very good shape. I used to be very fit. Breakdancing, backflips, capoeira.
Yeah, let's get it, dog.
I had a very athletic side to me. But like this Saturday, I went to the park and I put the smack down on the young generation. And I was talking shit the whole way. I was like, you suck.
You gotta have them outlets, dog.
I built 16 buildings this year. Didn't show up once. You guys played the whole year. You suck. Like,
I love it.
Yeah.
Yo, this is some real testosterone energy right here. Like
they know.
You gotta have it. I tell people all the time. It's like, there's different forms. And I say everybody wants to put like therapy in a box. We want to put mental health in a box.
No.
And I'm not even saying everything's right about going to see a therapist. And everything's right about going to the park and shooting hoops. Everything's right about going to a mountain and screaming at the top. That's all therapy.
Yes.
You write it down.
Or screaming at the park.
Yeah, just screaming at the park. It's all therapy. So at the end of the day, man, you got a super dope journey. The honor that you have for God, the honor that you have for your family, and the values, you continue to create value for others. Tell people where to find you and what you're most excited about moving forward.
Anybody can find me. Social media is probably the easiest way.
Yep.
Right. It's Richie Zav on Instagram. We'll do some joint posts.
No doubt.
I have. Basically, I'm not hiding. I'm very easy to get contacted. I respond to every single DM, every single message, every email.
You're the man.
I have like a phobia, bro. I just can't. I don't know.
I respond to a lot, but my family be waiting. I'm like, my bad peeps.
Yeah, I know.
And that's dope.
I figure out how to find the time, but I respond to everyone.
That's dope.
Even the burner accounts.
Yeah. And
I have an idea of who's what. I had a billionaire reach out to me through a burner account.
Say a word.
Yeah, and
that's
he's like, I can't formally reach out to you because it will create a conflict in the market. Because they will suspect I want to get into real estate. And I was like, oh shit, man. I'm like, can I say your name? He's like, no. I was like, all right, cool. But with that being said, you can reach out to me, whether it's social media or whether it's on my office in Great Neck or any of my sites.
Nice.
In Brooklyn. I'm very easy to talk to. I'm a genuine believer, bro. God gives the path.
Yeah.
Don't take credit. Don't say you did it. Somebody asked me at the park, like, oh, Richie, what's up? Like, if you don't mind me asking you, like, how did you get into this? And I really thought to myself, I was like, bro, am I really going to tell him I did this, I did that? I said, honestly, bro, I think God just helped me.
It's powerful. It's simple.
Yeah.
It's so great to just have the sobriety to give God the glory, to include God. People ask me, after the helmet catch, it's like, God did it.
Yes. You put the effort.
Yeah, I'm there.
You showed up every day at practice.
I can't recreate that.
Yes.
Is what, no, you
can't recreate it.
I can't recreate it.
Nobody will recreate that.
I didn't practice that. I practiced a lot of things all my life to be prepared for that moment, but I didn't practice that.
No way, bro. I showed my wife after. By the way, every time we go to the game, I'm like, yo, I just want you to understand the depth of that catch. And I showed it to her in slow motion.
I love y'all,
and I said,
man.
as an athlete, different level, different sport. I said, there are amazing things that can happen, and then there are miracles.
There's miracles.
David didn't catch that. God did.
Miracle. So, bro, super excited about everything going on. Make sure y'all check Richie Zav on IG. Super active. Get some of the best insight, information to continue to be a part of the process. But great things on the horizon for you, brother. And I'm excited to be a part, bro.
Can I get a reaction from you?
Yeah,
1 second.
talk to me.
On
Talk to me.
tape. You remember that building we took you to?
Yeah.
Where we were digging dirt? I knew that we were
Where Pops was at?
Yeah, my father-in-law.
Yeah.
I knew that we were going to have this podcast, but I didn't have time to take a picture during the day. But I was driving past it at the night, and this is what it looks like.
Get the hell out of here.
You were standing there personally when it was dirt.
Golly.
I just wanted that reaction.
So, so I'm gonna find a picture.
I have it.
I'm gonna find the picture from that day. But
the concrete guy came up to you and was like, I want money because of you.
It's freaking crazy, bro. Now this what's so dope about it is I'm green. That's why I love you. I'm green in the development space. Never was interested, never in the city, crazy like that. So when you see all this stuff happen, you never have a clue. Your father-in-law's a beast.
Yeah.
And so to see that project on the ground was just super dope.
Yeah.
But even more so, it's like, man, I tell people, I said, man, you talking about the money that goes in these projects? And I said, and that's it helped me start understanding better how the world works. And it's not like money makes the world go round. That's the part of it. It's a conduit. It's just a means to an end. But when you talk about the quality, I said, boy, folk got to know what the hell they doing.
Yes.
And the experience. I think,
a developer
Yeah.
is very much in comparison as a sports franchise owner. Meaning, it's my responsibility to hire the right GM,
boom,
the right coach, all the right players, make the right trades on the drafts, make sure the salary cap fits, make sure that the arena is
Y'all
presentable.
Yeah.
All of the accumulation of these things will be a great organization.
Listen, bars. Zav, we're gonna have you back on. You already know how we do. But listen, too many gems right there. Every opportunity for you individually, whether you're in business, whether you're in sport, whether you're in real estate, doesn't matter what industry you're in, whether you got
a preacher,
come on, bro,
a rabbi.
Whether you're a man of God, whether you're a rabbi, it's the mindset, it's the heart. Ultimately, it's the belief to stay centered and grounded and get great done. So latch on everything that me and my boy Richie talk about. Catch the next moment with us next week. Till then, we'll see you. Till then, we'll see you get great done.